So you can see that this is our Power BI flow. We first get the data. Once we get the data, we do add modeling. So we build a model and then we start building a report. We visualize the data and then we use Power BI service to share our data, to share and collaborate our data. Okay. Yeah. So if you look in detail, like what is Power BI flow? So first we extract the data from different sources. So Power BI helps us to connect to more than 100 sources. We then start transforming the data and we load the data. So these three steps are done in Power Query. This is called as ETL also. And once your data loads into a Power BI desktop, then we start building a data model, and then we do DAX, that is data analysis expression. It is one of the language to perform the calculations, complex calculations on your data. Then we start building the report and we publish a report. So if you compare with the previous slide, extract, transform, load is nothing but your get data, add, modeling and DAX. These two combined is your data modeling, and report building and publishing is your visualize the data. So from extract to publish, we all do that in our Power BI desktop, and dashboard creation and sharing the report and collaborating, we do that in our Power BI service. So this is a basic Power BI flow. We are always following these steps. So we have seen like how to extract the data, transform and load. Now we are going detail into how to use a Power Query. So let me just jump on to Power BI desktop. So this is how your Power BI desktop looks like. So this is your canvas. On the top, we have different tabs. You can call it as a ribbon. Home tab, insert, modeling, view, and help. So you can see that these all are familiar with ecosystem of Microsoft. So if we have been using Microsoft from our childhood, like we know in Word, in Excel, in PowerPoint, we always see this home tab, file tab, insert, modeling, not modeling, but we see home, insert, view, and so on. So when you come to the left side, here you have three different views. One is your report view, second is your data view, third is your model view. So these two together called as the data modeling. And at the bottom you have your pages, like you can extend, you can get a new page. When you click on this plus icon, you can create a new pages. You can create multiple pages here. You can just delete that page if you don't want. Okay. Coming to the right side, you have a fields pane here. So whatever data we extract, we transform, and then we load it, all that can be seen in this fields pane. We will start building a reports and visuals on this visualization pane. And at the last pane, you have a filters. So we will talk more about filters later. So let me first get the data into Power BI. So there are multiple ways to do that. You can get the data from here. You have more than 100 sources where you can get the data from. You can correct the data, or you can fetch the data from Excel, or you can fetch the data from this also, like get data. So I am importing an Excel file, a Superstore Excel file, but we have seen that. So let me open and import data from Excel. So let me connect. Yeah, so in sample, we have a sample Superstore data. So let me just click on open. So once you have opened, there are three tables inside that sample Superstore. One is orders table, and one is the people table, and one is returns table. So these three are the tables and these three are sheets. So you have the same content inside a sheet or table. You can fetch anything. So let me click on this to have a quick preview on that table. So you can see you got all the columns, and if you go to people's tab, you get people's, and if you go to returns, you get a return sheet. Similarly, if you go to order one, you will be getting only the table out of that sheet. So Power BI detects that sheet into a table and it will give you the table. So you can see you got a same record. Yeah, but when you see on this returns table, you look carefully. When I click on returns 3 year, it is detecting only one column. It is not detecting the second column. So if you go to returns table, here it is showing me two columns, returned order and order ID. So you need to like be careful when you are viewing between sheet and table. So let me click all sheets, and when you click on transform data, you will be redirected to the Power Query. So you have two options. So if your data is structured, if your data is clean, and if you don't want to do any transformation, then you can directly load it into your Power BI desktop. So what I am doing exactly, I'm extracting the data, and if you want to do transformation, we can do transformation in ETL, or you can skip this transformation and directly jump on to load. And you being in the Power BI desktop, then you start building a model, doing DAX and all those things. But if we want to do transformation, then we have to click on transform data. So once you click on transform data, you will be redirected to the Power Query Editor. So Power Query Editor is inside the Power BI desktop only. So you will be entering into the Power Query Editor. So let me click on orders table. Now here are few things you need to do immediately once you enter into Power Query. The first thing is you need to check whether you have correct headers or not. So I can see that all the headers are correctly assigned. Yeah, I can see that headers are correctly assigned. And look at the data types also. So just have a quick scan like whether you got a correct data types or not. So here you can see the data types. So here for the row ID column, data type is assigned as 1, 2, 3. If I click on this, you can see these are various data types which are available in Power Query Editor. So it is a decimal, if it is a fixed decimal, whole number, percentage, and so on, date and time, duration. If it is text, it is ABC. If it is boolean, it gives you true or false. So quickly scan all the data types. Yeah, for order date, so it is a date, so it is showing me date. For ship date, for ship mode, it is ABC. Everything looks good. I think all the data types are assigned. If you feel that no, this data types should be changed, so at any point of time, you can click here and you can change that to a whole number. So it will ask you like, we have detected it as a decimal number. Do you want to change it? You can just click on add new step or replace the correct. Your data type will be changed. And if you notice that on the right side, it is you have a query settings. In that it is showing you the table name. You can edit your table name from here, or you can just double click and you can edit here also. Okay, then when you come to applied steps here, so whatever we do in Power Query, that all is recorded and that is shown in applied steps. So we haven't done anything. Automatically Power Query is showing us few steps. So we have seen that like source will show you from where you are getting a data. It will navigate to that particular data. So it has already like Power BI is searching for the headers. Yeah, so it has promoted the headers. Once the it has promoted the headers, it keeps on scanning the records and it will decide the data types. Now you can see we have ABC123, ABC123, but Power BI has automatically decided the data type. It will scan first 200 rows and assign the correct data type. So you can see that it changed data type. Now, if you come to second table, people's table, here the column headers are not correctly assigned. You can see here no column headers are assigned. So Power BI did not detect the headers. So we are using a first function now, that is first row as headers. So if I click on first row as headers, your headers will be like first row will be your headers, and the data types are already assigned. Like these can be your ABC, these are also ABC. I mean, these are text and these are also text. Let me go to returns table. Here we have two columns, and again the data types are not correctly assigned. I mean, the row headers are not assigned. So let me click on first row as headers. Now I can see that there is returned an order ID, and those are correctly, headers are showing correct, and the data type is also correct. Okay. So now, apart from the headers and looking at the data types, what we can do in this Power Query. So this is one of the most like useful tool when it comes to ETL. uh, like ETL, I mean extracting, transforming, and loading. And this is basically used for a structured data. Like if you have a table and if you want to do cleaning the data, if you want to shape the data, then this Power Query tool is very, very important, guys. So let me explore few tabs here. Before that, let me show you one tab, that is view. So once you click on view, here we have an options, a few options here, that is called column profiling in data preview. So in data preview, we have column profiling. So once you run column profile, so column profile means it comes column quality, column distribution, and column profile. So if I click on suppose particular column, and if I suppose click on column quality, so you can see that it will show you what are the quality of that column. It will show you in percentage. So you can see how many valid numbers are there, and you can see column profiling runs only on top 100,000 rows. It is shown here. You can see that there it is running column profile on based on the top 1,000 rows. In this, there are more than 9,994 records are there. I mean, approximately 10,000 records are there. But this column quality is showing you based on the top 1,000 rows. Okay. So when you run column quality, you can see like what is the validity, what is the error, and how many empty values are there. I can see that there are no empty values, there are no errors, and so on. I will have a quick scan of all this. So no errors, no empty values, nothing, nothing. So just have a quick scan and you can find out what is the quality of each and every column. Once you are done with this column quality, you can disable this, and you if you click on column distribution, so if I suppose click on column distribution, you can see here for every column the column distribution is shown. And here you can see that when you run column distribution, it will show you like how many distinct values are there and how many unique values are there. So at the beginning, distinct and unique looks or sound similar, but there is a lot of difference here. So there are thousand distinct values. I mean, there is not a single value that is repeated. Not a single value that is repeated means it is unique. So there are thousand distinct and thousand unique in this column. So when it comes to order ID, I can see that there are 479 distinct values that are not repeated or that are distinct. But when it comes to unique, so there are 2 to 6 unique values that are never repeated. So when it comes to order date, so there are 373 distinct values in this. Then there are 133 dates which do not repeat. Okay. And when you come to ship mode, okay, if you didn't understand, let me explain you in this way for in this example. So if you come to ship mode, let me just click on this like we do in Excel. So it will show you how many distinct values are there here. Okay, so there are 4 distinct values. You can see first class, same day, second class, standard. If I untick all this and if I click first class, I will be getting a data filtered only for the first class. You can see that. So if I select all and click on OK, so I may get all 4 distinct values. Yeah, just a minute. It is scanning, I guess. So, okay, oh, just a minute, guys. Okay, there might be some lag actually. So when I click on this, so I hope you got this. Like there are like four distinct values, and not there is not a single record that is not repeating. So there should be zero unique. Okay. So this is how you can do column distribution. This is not synced yet. So actually the data is used, so it is not syncing it quickly. Okay, so we have the last, like in when it comes to column profiling, the last is column profile. So you need to select any of the particular column. Suppose if I select the sale amount, I'll show you when I click on sale amount or sale column, and if I click on column profile, so you can see that you get the column statistics and value distribution. So column statistics will show you all the statistics based on that particular column. For example, how much is the count? As we know that there are top, it is showing us only top 1000 rows. So 1000. There are no error, no empty values. So this is a combination of like column quality. If you run column quality, you get this. And what are the distinct values and unique values? So if you learn column distribution, you may get this. But apart from that, what is the minimum sale? What is the maximum sale? What is the average sale? What is the standard deviation on that sale? And this is your column distribution. You can easily find out that, oh, this is a maximum sale amount and so on. You can do a lot of analysis by using this. So if I run all this column quality, column distribution, column profile. So, okay, if I change the column from, I mean, a numeric value sales to a string value. For example, if I take country or if I take a city or state, here you can see it is showing you minimum and maximum, and the value distribution is shown here, and there are no errors, no empty values, some distinct and some unique. So this is very important concept when it comes to uh, like column profiling. So there are three types again: column quality, column distribution, column profile. So once your data gets entered into your Power Query or Power BI, you need to first check the row headers, and then you need to check the data types of that, and then you need to run the column profiling to check the quality, to check the distribution, and to check the profile of column. Now, I don't think that there is any error or there is any empty values, null values. Everything looks clean, everything is good. So this is done in column profile. So when you run on this, you get one distinct because you can see you have only one S. So distinct value is one. There is not a single record which is not repeating. So not repeating means there is zero unique values. So not only column profiling, we can do lot of thing in Power Query Editor. So let me do it by one. So now we have three tables. We'll do some transformation now. Before going to a scenario based questions, like I will give you scenario and you need to think on what to do. Before that, let me explore few tabs in Power Query. So you on the home tab, you have some functions in the transform. But if you go to transform tab, those functions are all like similar in the transform. So that is just a shortcut in the home tab. And these are more functions in the transform. So there are actually two tabs. Okay, we have seen what is there in the view. We have seen what is there in the view. Now we will explore more on transform tab and add column tab. Transform and add column. So let me explain you in this way. If you go to transform, here you have a text column, some functions related to text column, some functions related to number column, some functions related to date and time column. So just remember text, number, date and time. So similarly, if I come to add column, here also you have from text, from number, from date and time. If you leave from, so it is again some functions in the text, functions in the number, functions in the date and time. So if I show you again in transform tab, so we have some functions like format, extract, merge column. In number, we have statistics, standard, scientific, trigonometry, rounding, information. In date and time column, you have date, time, and duration. If I come to add column, here you have from the text, again, formatting, merge column, extract. Number, you have statistics, standard, scientific, trigonometry, rounding, information. And in date and time, date, time, duration. Okay, guys. So in transform, like if you do any of the transformation takes place in the existing column. So that's why it is doing transformation using a text column. So that text will be applied, this transformation will be applied in the existing column. So let me just disable this column profiling. Yeah. So if you are doing some functions for number column, so it will change inside that same column. But if I go to add column, so it is saying that, okay, if you want to do some transformation from this existing column, a new column will be derived. That is add column. A new column will be derived when you use the functions from add column. So that is the difference between transform and add column. So let me show you now. Like all the functions are similar, just depending on the application or depending upon the use case, we will either go to transform or either go to add column. Now, just look at the data type. So this row ID has a data type of number 1, 2, 3. Just look at the functions which are enabled. So date and time, all functions are disabled, and your merge column is disabled, and only number column functions are enabled. Similar to add column also, you can see some columns are disabled, some functions are disabled. If I come to suppose this ship mode here, you can see, so the number functions or number column all are disabled. I cannot use that. And in date also, like all are disabled. In time also, all are disabled. I cannot use any of that because it is a text function. You can use only the text. It is a text data type. You can only use a text function from that. So let us start with the text. What you can do with this text functions are, suppose if you want to split the column, okay, I want to split this column. Suppose you have second class, standard class, first class, and so on. So you can just see it like you have first class, second class, same day, and standard class. I don't want this class and day in this column. I want to separate it out. I want to split it. So you can do that easily with only few clicks. So Power Query or this ETL tool of Power Query is so powerful that you can do with only few clicks. So let me show you. Click on ship mode, this column, go to split column, and you have number of options like where you can split. So I want to split by delimiter. Okay, I click on delimiter and your window will be popped up and it will ask you like, okay, is the delimiter a space? It is already detected. If there is something else, you can go here and say it is not a space, it is a comma, colon, space, tab, or you can use your custom also. So let me take a space and it is asking you for split at. So do you want to split only the leftmost delimiter or the rightmost delimiter? Here we have only one delimiter, that is space. So you can just keep as it is and just click on OK. So you can see that with fraction of second, with only two clicks, your ship mode has been divided into two. Now you can see standard, 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 second class on this second column. So now whatever changes we have done, that is all applied in this step, or it is applied in the applied step. You can see that. Suppose uh, now I want to tell you some features in Power Query. If you have done this and if you feel like I don't want to do this, if you press Ctrl Z, I'm pressing it, guys. Ctrl Z, you cannot undo it. So there is no Ctrl Z feature. Undo and redo feature is not there in Power Query. And if you think like it looks like an Excel, but can I do some changes here? If I double click here and if I start type, you can see I'm typing it. I cannot manipulate anything. I cannot change any data because this is coming from the source. I cannot type anything. I cannot do anything in this Power Query editor. Now you might think like, okay, I have done this transformation, but I don't want it to do that. No worries. You come to this applied step and you can just hit this delete option. If you delete this, if you delete this, and you get your original data. Okay. So now let me give you one use case. Now you can see here in order ID column, there is some code like CA US, CA US, and your actual order ID is your last 6 digits, and your like 4 digits is your year. So you can see 2018, I can see 2018, 17, 17, and so on. So now I want to split all these three. So you can click on split by delimiter, then you can it is already detected hyphen, then you can click on OK. Now you can see that all three has been like splitted, and here you can see here it has been separated. And Power BI is so smart, it is automatically detected the data type. You can see, oh, this is a number, so it should be a number. This is also number, so it should be number. So you can cancel out and check. If you cancel that, it will show you ABC ABC, even though it is a number, but you can just change at any point of time. You can just say it is a whole number, it will change. So whatever changes you do, that will all applied in this applied steps. Let me remove this. Let me remove I guess this also. Yeah. So suppose if you want to split this again, let me show you various options. Suppose you can split by position, you can split by uppercase, lowercase to uppercase to lowercase, to digit to non-digit, non-digit to digit. There are multiple options here. And when you like click on by number of characters, so if you click on, it will ask you like for how many number of characters you need to split. For example, if I say 2, so after every 2 characters you will get a split. Okay. Now if I say 4, for every 4 characters your column will be split. So these are all the options. You can go with the position also. By position, so if I click on by position, it will ask you, it will already detected some positions for you, like 0th position, then 2nd position, then 7th position. Do you want to split by this? Or if you want to specify anything, you can do that by your own. Okay. So let me cancel it out now. So this is how the split column works. Then coming to the format now, suppose you have a ship mode and you want to change the case of this to a uppercase. You can do that. Just click on uppercase, everything will be changed. You can see that. If you want a lowercase, you can just keep a lowercase. With one single click, your whole column will be converted to a lowercase. So now let me show you what would be the difference if I use this format option in transform and transform format option in add column. Let me go to add column. Here also have an format option. If I click on uppercase, now you can see that your column is at the same position. There is no change or no transformation in this, but from this column a new column is derived and your uppercase is here. You can see that. So depending on the application or depending upon what scenario you are working on, you can decide which like either you can take a transform or either you can take a add column. Okay. So this is again very simple. You can go and check all this. Suppose there are some spaces. There are some spaces like before the letter, after the letter. So you can remove that spaces by using trim. So if I click on trim, all the spaces, unwanted spaces will be removed. If you have spaces, you can use this one. Okay, trim one. So clean. So this is also used like if you have any non-primitive character or something like that, then that is used to uh, non-printable character in this in the selected column that will be removed by using a clean function. You can add suffix and prefix at any point of time. Suppose here you have a customer name, and if you want to add, suppose, prefix like Mr. for everything. So that may be wrong because we don't know like whether the customer is male or female. But yeah, you can just add a suffix and prefix at any time. Okay, by using this. Now we have seen how to split the column. Similarly, we have some extract. So if you want to extract few length from that column, if you want to extract first characters, if you want to extract the last characters, if you want to extract the range, text before delimiter, after text after delimiter, text between delimiter, and so on, you can do that easily by using extract function. That is available in both transform tab also and in the add column tab also. So these were all the functions based on text column. Now let me go further to number column. So if I to enable this, I need any of the number. Okay, so if I click on number column, now all these functions are enabled. So these number column functions are similar to transform tab as well as in the add column tab. So if I go to transform column or transform tab, and here you can see statistics. Suppose if you want to add something, if you want to find minimum out of that, maximum out of that, if you want to find the average, median, if you want to count distinct values, so on, you can do in statistics, all the statistics. If I want to add it, okay, let me show you. Suppose there should be some scenario based. Suppose if I click on sales column and if I click on sum, so it will show you the sum of the sales, like all 1,000 records. But it does not, this might not be relevant. You might be wondering like where is my table? So if you want to check the sum, we use in this way, but it's not recommended. Yeah. So what you can do is, suppose if I want to, like I have a sales amount, I have a quantity. I want to calculate the total sales. I want to calculate. This is sales per unit. If I guess sales per unit, so the total sales would be sale amount into quantity. Sale amount into quantity. Sale amount into quantity. Now I want to do some multiplication. Then or if I have a profit column, I have a column, I want to know what is my cost price. So you can see that sales amount minus profit, you get your cost price. You can calculate that. So how to do minus, how to multiply, you can do all that by using a standard like a calculator. You can add, multiply, subtract, divide, integer divide, modulo, percentage, and all those things you can do it. So let me quickly show you. So if I want to multiply these two columns, so sales amount into quantity, so I have to select these two columns and I have to say that I want to multiply these two. So when you are multiplying these two, whatever answer you get, that should be in the new column, not in the existing column. So obviously you cannot see this function enabled. So for that you need to go to add column, click on standard, and I just click a multiply. So you can see that now you got a new column called multiplication. These two, like 261.96 multiplied by 2, you got a new value. You can rename this column name, double click on that and say total sales and just press enter. So this is your total sales. So if you want to do subtraction, for example, sale and profit, I want to, so when I click on the sales, I click on profit also, like pressing a control, then I go and click on subtract. So once I click on subtract, so it will subtract your sales amount minus profit, you get your cost price. So that is your cost price. Okay, so here the sequence is important. Suppose just in case if you have taken first profit and then chosen sale, so the sequence, see the sequence, and then you have subtracted it, so it will take profit first and then it will take a sales, you may get all negative. So cost price cannot be negative. So this will lead you, this will cause you some misinterpretation. So you need to be very careful when you are selecting the column. So this is all about standard functions. You can use some scientific calculations also, like if you want to have a square root of a number, cube root, and if you want a square root, if you want to square, cube, algorithm, exponential, factorial, all those things. Even you can use a trigonometry functions also, like sine, cos, tan, sine inverse, cos inverse, and all those things. And you can even round. So we are using this rounding function many times. So let me show you. Here in profit, you can see that you have many values after the decimal. Like we after decimal, we have 4 digits. So 4 decimals. So let me click on round and just click on round up. So it will, yeah, now you will be surprised, like whatever transformation we are doing, that is occurring in the new column. I don't want that in a new column. Actually, I want transformation in the existing column. Okay, then come to transform, then click on round and then click on round up. Now the transformation will be in the same column. But you can see that the profit, it is not showing into decimal. Actually, I should get a decimal, but not all decimal values should be deleted. So you can select your own, select round, and then specify how many decimal places you want. I want just 2 decimal places. Click on 2, so you get 2 decimals after a point. So this is how you can easily do that with the help of rounding function in the number column. So even you have one information function, it will show you whether your record is even or is odd. So let me run that in on a quantity and show you how it looks. So actually, to check whether your quantities are even or odd, so for that you need to get a new column. Okay, because if you are doing a transformation, your quantity column will be vanished. Let me show you. If I click on is even, so it will show me in a boolean true false true false. But where is the quantity column? So this is not a correct interpretation. So delete it. Click on this. Go to add column. Go to information. Click on is even. Now you can see that you get true false true false. I can say that this order ID is even. This order ID is false. It means it is odd, and so on. You can perform like this. And here you have one more function, sign. So it will check whether your like it was very helpful in the profit or in the total sales. If I click on profit and if I say sign, click on sign, it will show you like which was minus and which was plus. You can easily say, like understand that these minus values means that there is some loss there, and plus value means there is a profit there. So these are the functions which we have used. So there are almost 200 to 300 functions in this Power Query. Now we have completed almost 50 functions, like all simple functions. From text functions, we have used, like you can consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 20 functions from this, 10 functions from this. So almost 30 to 40 functions we have covered. Uh, okay, let me show you this merge column. Actually, I didn't talk about merge column. That is also important. Then we'll go to date and time function. Suppose I have a region column and I have a state column. Suppose I want a new column. Okay, when I say that I want a new column, you should think about adding a new column. Okay, so I want state. In front of state I should get that region. So Kentucky is on which region, California is on which region, and North Carolina is in which region, like that. So I want these two in a same column. So for that I'll select state first and then select region. Sequence is very important, guys. So go to add column, then click on merge column. You can see there's only one function that is enabled. You can click on merge. So it will ask you for the separator. So I'll take a separator space between those two and I'll say a new column name should be, okay, state hyphen region. Click on OK. So it will give you state and region like this. So you can see Florida, North Carolina, uh, California, all are with regions. Now, if you think like, no, I don't want this in a separate column, I want that in a existing column only. So you can do that. So go to state column, then click on the region, go to transform, click on merge column, whatever you want, separator. Suppose you want a comma, for example, and click on OK. So these two will be merged and you will be getting a comma between that. Now this is column name merged. I don't want merged. I want state and region in between that. It looks good. Now this is done. But now you think like, no, I have actually missed out some space here. I want some space here. So what you can do is you cannot go and delete it and again build a new function. So here you have a gear setting. Can you see that gear option, like setting option? So once you click on that option, you will get that dialog box again. And here you can see that if you want a space, if you want a tab, you want anything. Suppose you want a space. I don't want a comma there. Let me click on OK. So you get a space after your state. So you can change at any time by using this uh, setting option. So these are some of the most useful functions in text functions and number functions. These are available in both transform and add column. Yeah. So let us go further and see about what we can do with date and time column. So there are so good features or good functions in date and time function. You will be wondered by looking into that functions. So if you click on the order date, you can see all the date and time functions will be enabled, but same time and duration has been disabled. Similarly, all the functions of date are enabled in the add column also. Okay. So what we can do with this add column, let me show you with date functions. First is you can calculate the age. Suppose we are working on a data set where we have customer's name and we have a customer's date also. And we want to calculate the age of the customer. You can do that by just clicking on this. But in this data set, we do not have that example. I'll show you. So take a order date, then you can calculate the age. You can calculate the date only. So what does date only function means? If you have date and time inside that data set, and if you want only date, you click on date. Similarly, you have only time in this time option. So in this data set, we do not have a time column. So that's why we are not getting these two options. So coming back here, so we have year, month, quarter, week, day. We have a function called subtract day. We have a function called combine date and time. And we have a function called earliest and latest. So we will do all this in only few clicks. We can do that. It is very easy. Suppose my requirement is I want to extract the year from this order date. Year, that is 2018. I'll click on this, click on date, go to year, and just click on year. So as I'm using a function from add column, your year is extracted with only 2 or 3 clicks, not more than that. Yeah. So if I go on this order date and I want to check, I want to extract month, I want to see on which month the I got order. So I can click here, I can go to date, I can go to month, click on month. So you can see we got the month also, which has been extracted from that date. So let me show you again. So if you want a date, for example, if you want a date, so go to date column. Sorry, if you want a day, you can go here, click on day. So day is extracted from that date. So we have extracted year, we have extracted month, we have extracted the day. Now, if your requirement is okay, I have extracted the month, but I wanted the month name. So if it is 11, I should get a November year. If it is 6, I should get a June year, and so on. You can do that easily by using a same function. So if I go to order date, if I click on date and just click on month name of the month. So if I click on name of the month, I'll get a new tab, and here you can see beautifully you got all your name of the month. So 11 November, 6 June, 10 October, and so on. So depending upon the requirement, you can do that. So let me quickly show you the name of the day also. So if I click on day of the week, sorry, day, name of the day, sorry, I missed it, just a minute. Order date column, just click on name of the day. So you can see that you got all the names. So on 8th November 2018, it was Thursday. On 11th October 2017, it was Wednesday, and so on. So you can do that in just couple of clicks, only few clicks. So let me show you one more function, that suppose a week function. If I click on week of the year, week of the month, start of week, end of week. Suppose if I click on week of the year, it will show you like this day, this particular day was on which week. So out of 52 weeks, it was a 45th week, it was 24th week, it was 38th week, and so on. So we can do all this. So I'll just delete this. I don't want to increase the memory of this data set. I'll just remove all this. That is only to show you. Then uh, so these were all the functions of year date. You explore all this, like what happens if you click on start of the year, start of the month, day in the month, and so on. Okay, so let me show you these one, like what happens if you subtract the days. So to use subtract, we need two columns. Okay, so now there the order has been received on 8th November and they have shipped it on 11 number. So I just want to check like how many days it took to ship. So first, the sequence is important. You need to click on date first and then click on order date first. Then you go to date column and click on subtract days. Now you can see that we got all the days subtracted from your uh, ship date minus order date. If you just do some analysis, so we got 0 to 7. So we can say that this seventh date, so there was few products which we shipped after 7 days also, and there were few products which like delivered with the same day also, that is 0 days. So this is how you can do some analysis. So this was about the functions in date. So if we have a time function or time column, we would have used time functions and duration function. So this was about a simple functions in Power Query Editor. So let me repeat: some functions from the text column, functions from the number column, and some functions from the date and time column. Okay, if I create, so if I create a, suppose let me go to add column, let me take a year. So your year has been extracted at the end, so by default it will come at the end always. But if you can reorder, you can rearrange, click on this and you can drag, you can see that. So you, wherever you want, you can keep that, you can rearrange that. So let me bring it quickly. Years, for example. Yeah, so year column is somewhere here. So you can bring it near date also. Yeah, you can keep it here. So you can rearrange all your columns. Suppose I want ship mode somewhere here, you can do that. No worries. But once we load this data, we are not bothered about the sequence, because when we load the data in our Power BI desktop, there all the fields will be arranged in the ascending order as of names in the column.